Okay, so everyone should have hilo.js open and hilo.html. So make sure you got that open. Also go ahead and open up the program on your browser. So we're all set to go. So let's review where we were last week. So last week we went far enough that we, if you hit play, it selects a card. We select high or low. I'm going to say high. Boom. Oh, even 6. It broke. So it changed the background color to whatever happened. We did the retry, and retry just changed the first number but didn't clear anything yet. So we were working with retry last time. So if we go down to our retry, when we click our retry, let's look at our HTML real quick. When we click our retry button, where's our button? Oh, button play was renamed. Here, let's see. Go back here. So when we guess high, low, if it was right, we went green. If it was wrong, we went red, and then we called reset. Reset changed the value of our play button to retry. Okay, so now what we want to do is we want to do something when we click retry. Remember, it's still our play button, so our play button, if we look back at our high-low, our play button calls the function play. So even though we changed the name of the button, it's still going to call the function play. But we want to know if we've already played a game or not, so that we can do things differently. So we're going to want to track that. So we're going to want a global variable. I've talked about global variables before, right? They're outside of the functions. If a variable is defined inside of a function, it's only available in that function. If a variable is defined outside the function, it's available to everything outside the function and all the functions. So let's create a function here. We're going to call it played. Oops. Let played, P-L-A-Y-E-D. And we're going to define this function right off the bat, and we're going to use a Boolean variable. Have I covered Boolean variables before? Okay, so right now, the first time we play it, we want to say, no, we haven't played it yet, so we're going to define it as false. So we're going to say let played equals false. Say, hey, we haven't played before. So everyone have that variable defined? Good, so here, let me crank up the size here a little bit so you can see. Is that better? No, Zach's going, oh, it's getting so big. I can't see, but okay. So what we're going to do is we can tell we played when we guess a high or low. So we're going to, in our guess high, our guess low, we did if it's equal, green, if not red, then we do our reset. Before we call our reset, let's, or here. Yeah, let's do it right before the call of reset. You could do it before or after, it doesn't really matter. We're going to set our played equal to true. Played equals true. So once we've clicked the guess high or low, we're assuming we've already played the game, and we're going to say it's true. So we're going to do that for our guess low, and then we want to go do it for our guess high as well. So both of those guess functions have played equals true. Don't forget your semicolon, and no quotes around the true or the false, because this is a Boolean value. It's kind of like a number. So, and the system recognizes it. Okay. So right now, all we do if we play the game is we reset our global variable. So now we need to key off of that variable to affect our game. So let's go all the way back. We said that when you click on that play button, you call the play thing right here, right? Okay. So let's add an if statement. If we've already played, we're going to want to reset something. So let's say if played. Now I don't have to say equal to true or anything, because if I look at played, it'll either be true or false. So it'll say true or false. If it's false, it won't do anything inside these curly brackets. If played's already false, it'll just ignore them. But if we've hit played and it's true, then we want to do a couple different things. First thing we want to do is we want to reset our played variable to false, so that so that we know, hey, we're playing a new game, so we're starting all over. We're resetting our played variable to false. After that, then we want to deal with our displayed cards. We want to deal with our background colors. So we're going to want to set our background color back to white. And we're going to want to, if we go to our, if we want to blank both of these out, we want to set it to nothing. So right now you have enough information. Let's see, I'm going to give you a few minutes and see if you can figure out in this line right here how to set the background color back to white. Set the background color back to white. Zach, I'm just going to pause the video and then restart. Go. Okay, so what I'm going to do in order to set the background color to white is we're in our played here. I'm going to go down and find where the background color was. So we set the background color to green here. I'm going to copy this line. I'm going to go up to my played and I'm going to paste it and I'm going to change my color to white. Okay, so let me try mine and see if mine works. Then we'll do some debugging. Shift refresh. Play low. I got it wrong. Retry. Boom. Okay, so mine works, so let's debug yours. Okay, we got the same problem occurring on a number of different machines, and it might be happening to you, Zach, so we're going to do this. So what I did is I grabbed the code from one of them. So I'm going to open up that code. So, yeah, I'm going to copy that code. This is something you guys won't be doing. We'll just kind of be watching, but let's go and I'm going to go into my JS coding. I'm going to find my high-low, and I'm going to rename it to use, _use, so that now it won't link anymore. Now I'm going to go to the copy I got. I'm going to copy that one. I'm going to paste it in here. And now I will use your copy of the program. Yes. Okay, so now it's reloaded with your copy in here. So now let's go run it and let's see if the same error happens to me. So shift refresh, play 4, high 5, retry 3. Okay, so it doesn't clear the background color. Am I getting any error? Let's take a look at our page source. Or no, not our page source. Take a look at our console. So inspect element, console. No, this is a goofy error mine has because it's set up with the way I do my HTML, so it doesn't care about that. So I'm not getting the same error you are. That is really weird. Okay, so I can't debug it this way then, so we're going to try going the other way. So I'm going to go back to my code. I'm going to go here. I'm going to rename the one that I got from Connor. I'm going to rename it bad. I'm going to go back to my use. I'm going to rename it back to just highlow.js. And it should say, oh, you want to reload? Yes. So now we're going to go the other way. I'm going to copy this one. I go in here. I'm going to get rid of all this stuff. I don't need this. And I'm going to paste it in there. And we're going to see if that works on your machine. Okay, we got the debugging done. So so we'll go from there. Okay, so now when we click retry, it sets the background color back to white. Now we also want to, when we click retry, so it sets it back to, or here, shift refresh, play, low, retry. Okay, it goes to white. Now we also want to clear these numbers. So instead of having you guys do it, we'll just walk through it here together. So let's go take a look. So when we set our numbers, so let's go down, we set our card dis to whatever it is. So here, let's go to the top. We hit play. We're doing our if played, then we draw a card. We set that to card 1. Then we use card 1 to display a card. Then we set num1 equal to display1. So if we go back to our HTML, we'll see that we got num1 where we display our first card, we got num2 where we display our second card. So what we want to do is we want to copy this line, document get elements by ID, element by ID num1. We're going to paste it into our plate, and we're going to actually paste it twice. Oops, except I'm going to try to hit a return after. There we go. Okay, now we're going to set num1 to, instead of display1, we're going to just set it to nothing, just empty parentheses. Same with num2, empty parentheses. So that will reset it. We could reset our global variables card1, card2, display1, display2, but they will be overwritten by our program. So let's go ahead and save that and try it. And you should hopefully now see that when you hit that retry, so play once, hi. Hey, I got it right. Retry, boom, oh, didn't clear my numbers. So, okay, so we got an error here. First of all, let's check and see if we got an error. So right click and inspect element and go to my console, and nope, I just got my HTML error, so I figured that was true. So there's something wrong with our logic or our code. So let's go take a look at our code. Document get element by ID inner HTML equals, and it says nothing. Why isn't that working? That should work. Let's try a little something. Maybe, I thought you could set it to null. Yeah.
So it worked for us.
Okay.
Refresh your page.
Ah, let's see. Probably not. Let's see. Sometimes the simplest things get you. Shift, refresh, play, hi, retry. Nope, didn't work for me. So worked for you, didn't work for me, so there's an error somewhere. Let's document. Okay, so we reset the background color. We elements by, why wouldn't that work? That's weird. Okay. It's saying white. Let's try something here. I'm going to here's a way, you don't have to do this, but this is a way I'm going to check it. I'm going to take my, set it to num2 first of all. Num2, that shouldn't matter. It should do it twice anyway. Num1, num2. I'm going to copy one of those lines. I'm going to paste it here. And I'm going to get rid of the equals and that. You don't have to do this. This is just debugging. And I'm going to alert on this. Alert document. So what I'm saying is, what is the current inner HTML in there? So I'm saying, does this work? So I'm going to save it. Oh, so the two num1s were causing a problem? Let's see. Hello. Boom. Hey, retry. 8. Okay. So it's working. Let's see. So yeah, that second num2, that's a weird one. So I'm going to get rid of this line. I've got num1, num2 here. Save it, refresh, play. Hi, no, retry. Hey, it's working. Hi, no, retry. Low, no, retry. Hi. Even when I try to win. Hi, hey, I got one. Yay. Okay. So it appears to be working. We can, every time we hit retry, it moves on, it draws the next card. So we're good there. So what's the next thing we want to do? How about we keep score? Should we keep score? Or we keep a tally of right versus wrong. How about that? Instead of a score, let's keep a tally of right and wrong. So, okay, so let's go back. This is going to require a little HTML coding on your guys' behalf, but I think you can do it. So on here, I'm going to click retry. So we got our retry, or we got our score, we got our low and our high. Maybe we want to create two boxes under here, right and wrong. How about that? So we're going to create a quick table. I'm going to teach you how to do a table. Connor can teach you if he wants. Or you've had HTML too, haven't you? Or no? Caden. Oh, it is Caden. Sorry, I just had your brother in the last class. So usually it's the girls I call the wrong names all the time. Colton. Yep. Oh, not Connor. Connor was before you, then okay. Sorry, Zach, you don't need a history lesson in the Kern family. So, okay, so we're going to create a little table down here that will have our right and wrong. So let's go to our code. Okay, go to your HTML, high-low HTML. Before I do this, okay, so we want this under our high and low buttons. So we're going to do it after the div, but before this style. So I'll give myself a little work room here. So after the div, but before this style, give yourself some space in there. We're going to create an HTML table. If you want to learn HTML and don't want to take a class from me on it, it's not that hard. Just ask Caden. And no, that's, and he can tell you it's fairly easy. So, okay, so we're going to do a table. Autocomplete should give you a closing table tag. So you got an opening table tag, closing table tag. In here, we're going to create a row, which is TR, opening and closing, greater than, less than. If you do it right, it should autocomplete on you. Is everyone autocompleting on their tags? Okay. Then we're going to, inside the TR, we're going to create two TD cells, TD and TD. TD is the cell. I don't know why they didn't call it TC for table cell, but they call it TD. So TR, TD. So we're going to have two rows to this table. So I'm going to copy my TR through TD, and I'm going to paste it again. So I've got two rows. Two rows with two cells in it. Actually, if we do this here, this will help you see what you're doing. Go inside your table tag before the closing, and let's add border equals 1. So add border equals 1 to your table, just like that. If you save that and view it, you should see a little 2x2 table underneath your high-low. Yes, it should be really tiny because there's nothing in it. So if we go here, if we go shift refresh, there's our little table right down there. It looks like a missing image marker or something. So, okay, so good. We got our table and we got our ugly borders from HTML. We can fix that later, but right now we're gonna. Okay, so in the first cell, we're gonna put, instead of right and wrong, because you don't want to feel like you're making moral decisions on this, we're gonna say correct. You can say right and wrong if you want. Correct inside the first cell, incorrect inside of the second cell. You can say right, wrong. You can say yay, boo, whatever you want. So, okay. Then for our second cells, we're going to do two things. First thing we're going to do is we're going to give our second cells IDs. So inside the TD of the first cell in the second row, I'm going to say ID equals, and let's say correct. So I'm going to give it an ID of correct. Now you should give it the same ID as I do so that later on you're not confused when we're doing it. So, and then the second one, ID equals, whoops, touchpads are evil. Wonder how many times I say that in class. ID equals, well, we can spell out incorrect, or let's just say not. There, that'll be really confusing. So there's some good coding for you. Okay, so we got that. Then the last thing, just to make that row a little bit bigger, in my first TD, so inside of the two tags, I'm just going to do ampersand NBSP semicolon. Ampersand non-breaking space. This creates a HTML space in there, so now it has some height and width. So the width it'll derive from above. But if you save that and view it, now you should have a table, an ugly table that says correct, incorrect, and then has two blank cells underneath it. Here, I'll go take a look quick. Hey, look at that. Isn't that ugly? Yay! We'll make it look better later, or maybe I'll make it look better and give you a new HTML code for it, because this is an HTML class. Oh, good. I had a sinking feeling I forgot to start the video again, and we lost Zach. But okay, so everyone have this. Anyone not have this down yet? Because I don't want to run away from the page before you got it. Okay. I was going to say Caden has it. That's all we really care about. So, and Rachel's got her own personal helper, so we don't worry about her too much. So, are you done, Rachel? Do you got it? Or are you guys doing nefarious plans again and doing strange things like that? Okay, well, if nefarious plans, you can catch up. So, okay. So now we got our IDs. So this is where we're going to record our values. So we want values. We want our correct and incorrect, or our correct and not. So we're going to create two global variables to track those. So inside your JS at your global variables, we're going to create two variables. Let, we'll say correct equal 0. We'll set it to 0. And we'll say let incorrect equal 0. Or should I call it incorrect? Let's call it not, so that we match the ID. Not equal 0. So it'll just be really confusing if someone comes in and tries to figure out your code. So now we got a placeholder where we're going to store it. So now what we want to do is we want to increment or decrement, or increment either not or correct every time we get a right or a wrong answer. So we do that inside our high-low button. So if you scroll down to our guess low, guess high, let's go to our guess low first. If we got it, if the card is right, then it turns a green. So in here we're going to say correct plus plus. I won't say it, but touchpads are evil. So, okay. Plus plus is another way of saying correct equals correct plus 1. It's just kind of shorthand. If anyone ever heard of C programming before? There's a language called C. They had C, and right after that, they had C++ was the next version of it. It was like a coding joke. C plus 1. So, okay. So if it's right, we want to correct plus plus. If it's wrong, we want to not plus plus. I told you that would get confusing. I want to say incorrect. Should have used right and wrong, but I didn't want to be morally ambiguous there. So we're going to do the same thing for guess high and guess low. If it's correct, if it turns a green, we're going to do bad. Correct plus plus. If it's not, we're going to do not plus plus. Okay, so now we're incrementing and decrementing our correct and incorrect. So the only last thing we have to do is we have to show it. So what we're going to do is there's two places we want to show it. We're already doing some stuff here. So once we do this, we go play 2, and then we hit reset. So reset currently sets our button to retry. Let's have reset also update our scores. So go all the way down to reset. And we're going to look for we're going to update those scores. So document. So we're talking about the document. We're going to get our element by ID. Our ID is going to be our correct. So we're going to do our correct dot. Now we're not doing a value. This is HTML. We're putting it inside of a tag. So we're going to say inner HTML. Code correct allows you to remember that HTML is capitalized all the way through. Equals, and then it's going to be our correct variable. So document element correct equals correct. Then I'm going to copy that line. I'm going to paste it. I'm going to change my ID to not. And I'm going to change my variable to not. Go ahead and save that and test it. Start Zach back up. Okay, let's go shift refresh. Okay, so play 10 high. Oh, I would have got it wrong either way. Hey, now my incorrect went up by 1. Retry 7 high. Hey, I got 1 and 1. Retry 6 low. Hey, I actually got that one right, even though I guessed wrong. Okay, so our incorrect and correct are working. So we've got a score now, an ugly score, a really ugly old 1990s HTML table score. But for next week, I will change that so that it looks a little better for you. What's that? Yours isn't working?